Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. So this morning's message is a lot different than my traditional messages. And it's because many of you have been asking me for support in other areas of your life. And people go, I know you got a great background in functional medicine and epigenetics and regenerative medicine, and you used to have a family practice for, over 20 years. And can you give us some help when it comes to managing stress and managing our mental health? And what are some of the things that you know from a doctor's standpoint and from a clinical standpoint that have efficacy, empirical evidence that truly back up that they really, really work? So I'm going to share with you 4 botanicals that I absolutely am crazy about. Crazy in a good way. Let's make that distinction. And I know they work because the science is impeccable. And for the times that we're living in right now, when stress and anxiousness and just feeling like you're too tired to keep running, but you're too scared to stop, and you're just wound very tight, and you kind of go all day, and then at the end of the day, you're wondering, how do I wind down? Or you wake up in the morning, you feel like a flood of stress hormones is coming in, and you're wired, but you're tired. You get it. I think all of us have had experiences of that to varying degrees, and maybe this morning you woke up and said, man, my physiology, my body, my brain, my mind, they needed exhale. So here's 4 things that I highly recommend. And these are things that I do every single day. And I have for years. And yes, lately I am more mindful than ever because I'm feeling the same way you are feeling. I promise you that. So the first one I talk to you about is a mushroom. It's called reishi. You may have heard of it. There's reishi, there's chaga, there's cordyceps, there's lion's mane. Those are my 4 favorite mushrooms. And there's a product called Stamets 7, Stammets. And Stamets is a mycologist. He's an amazing guy. Just been studying mushrooms long before it was cool. He was part of the psychedelic era long before he got into one of the medicinal mushrooms. And I think you could choose any of those. So chaga is really good for the immune system. Reishi is just a good overall tonic. Cordyceps is great, kind of like for performance, stamina, and endurance. And lion's mane, oh my gosh, just a game changer for your mind, for neurogenic activity, helping to build neurons, helping with divergent thinking. So those guys, all of them are amazing. And Stamets 7 is a product that you can find readily available, natural food store, online. Go right directly to them and give them the business. They're great, and their products are incredible. Number 2, ashwagandha. Great Scrabble word. He's like, ashwagandha, ashwagandha, something like that. I'm dyslexic, so take that with a grain of salt. It's ashwagandha is an Ayurvedic herb, one of the most well-researched of all the adaptogenic herbs. Adaptogenic means that it can adapt to what's going on inside of you. Say that you're feeling fatigued and overwhelmed, it'll help you to kind of rebalance stress hormones and give you energy. Say you're feeling just wired and you just want to kind of find a way to bring yourself back into balance. That's what adaptogenics do. They adapt to the environment, you, me, all of us, whatever we are. So it's like a customized experience. And again, ashwagandha, really, really helpful in the area of cortisol, that stress hormone, when it's been kind of chronically running high and you want to bring it back into its healthy, balanced space. That's a good one. Number 3, and this is one that I think for many of you, you're probably going, oh gosh, I've been hearing more and more about this. This is rhodiola, Rhodiolia. Rhodiola. And rhodiola is phenomenal. Great for stress, great for energy, great for emotions, great for everything that you can ever imagine in relationship to mind and body, management of health and balance and well-being. It is absolutely wonderfully over the moon. So I highly recommend rhodiola. Again, source is everything. So, when you're looking around, and I can probably do another video here where I can list some of the companies that I really, really love and places that, you can kind of go and get a reputable product that truly works. And they've taken the time and the energy to source it properly, sustainably, and mindfully. That's also incredibly important. And the last one I talked about is not necessarily thought of too often as a botanical, but it absolutely is. And it's a plant that many people have been hearing more and more about, and that is CBD. CBD is easily my most favorite thing I do every single day. In fact, I do it 3 to 5 times a day. I do a full spectrum CBD because I believe I want the whole array of cannabinoids, including just a little bit of THC, a microdose of THC, because you get something called the entourage effect. So it's not going to be psychoactive, not going to get you stoned. But what it does is it helps to kind of make all of the players within that cannabinoid family. It's like going from an acoustic guitar, like, just one guitar, and all of a sudden you brought in the orchestra, you brought in the big band. And that's what a full spectrum CBD will do for you. You get all of the minors, you get all of the terpenes, you get all this awesomeness. And when you do, your endocannabinoid system helps to manage everything. Your immune system, your emotions, inflammation, mind, body, everything is connected to the endocannabinoid system. And in particular, first thing in the morning, when you're rising with the sun, your circadian rhythm is kicking in, that's an awesome time to take full spectrum CBD. And I'm a big fan of taking it right after lunch. I take it with dark chocolate because those two actually are synergistic. How cool is that? Like an 85% dark chocolate alongside of the full spectrum CBD. And then at night, I take it alongside of something called CBN, which is another one of the minors within the cannabinoid family, which has more of an affinity for relaxation, give you an amazing sleep, absolutely a deep, wonderful sleep. And the endocannabinoid system has only been discovered, maybe 30 years now? And it's been around since the beginning of everything, beginning of us, beginning of time for humans, since before we even knew we were humans, we had an endocannabinoid system. And because of the stress of life, the pace of life, there's something called endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome, which is because we're not living lives that are in balance. We're not living lives that are in harmony. And that's why we're seeing more issues associated with this deficiency syndrome, showing up in anxiety, showing up in lack of quality sleep, showing up in lack of feeling a sense of balance, mind, body. So what this really does, it kind of helps to give it the food it needs so it can orchestrate physiologically and neurochemically harmony across all systems, digestively, immunologically, neurochemically, all systems. So there you go. I know that's a lot. You probably weren't ready for it, but I hope it's helpful. And I'll do my best to list some of these things so it's easier to follow. And with all of that, please, primary care medicine is self-care, self-acceptance, self-love, self-compassion. And these other things help to kind of support and decorate that beauty. So with much love, all blessings, have an awesome day. Bye for now.